Oh, boys, YouTube debut. Welcome. Become a 5 out of 10 and start cold approaching. This is the debate that I want to get you on my side of today, and I think this is the fucking most fun thing to talk about because of how obsessed every guy is now with how they look, which fair enough, but I don't think it's everything. Who the fuck is that guy? Why should I listen to this fella about dating? Why should I listen to this fella about cold approach? If you're here, most likely you've come from your TikTok. So, hello, thank you for joining me, embarking with me on this adventure. Most likely you're not naturally good with girls. You didn't grow up fucking leader of the sports team where you had options after options after options. I certainly didn't. I actually met a mate of mine, bumped into him yesterday. I know him 2 or 3 years ago, and I told him what I was doing, and he's like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, you are the worst person to be giving advice on that. I'm like, yeah, the old version of me, but turned a leaf and here we are. My goal now is basically just give men as much belief and leverage back in dating game as possible, because I just think that you look at the average fella now, he's got no fucking options. And what we're going to talk about today is kind of the reason why, aside from what most people think is important. And you speak to the average girl and she's got, 10, 15, 20? You know, there's a lot of options there. So I want to sort of tip the scales in guys' favour. If you're listening and internalising what I'm telling you to do, you will. Like, you fucking will. You'll have a lot of options from it. You'll do things that you didn't think were really possible. You'll not be scared of the attractive girl anymore. That's the main goal here. And I think I've helped literally hundreds of guys already do that. I get so many messages. I've got a very divisive audience where you either hate me or you're messaging me telling me that I've fucking changed your dating life entirely. So, yeah, love that. So let's take 1,000 guys like you. And this is why I think cold approach is so valuable. And I think if you're a 5 out of 10, which is average, that's an average, 5 out of 10 is bang average, you should be doing this. You take 1,000 guys like you that you're competing with in the dating market. Your big 70%, I think this could be even more, won't try ever. They fucking won't. This is why I'm such a big proponent for it. 50% of fellas above the age of 21 haven't approached a girl in their lives. These are actual stats, by the way. Another 50% of men haven't done it in the last year. And look, you break that down, you're probably looking at 18 to 21-year-olds that have gone out, they've got fucking slashed, and they've told a few girls that they think she's fit. Like, really? Are we really going to be competing with those guys? We'll get into them in a bit, but no, not really. Most fellas are AFK. They'll see a girl, they'll see an attractive girl, and they'll register that she's attractive. Like, they'll think that she's attractive, but they won't even register the possibility of going up and speaking to her. And the reason for this normally falls into one of these three: limiting beliefs, fear, embarrassment, ego. I think a lot of people's limiting beliefs come from looks now, which is why it sparks so much debate, saying, oh, become a 5 out of 10 and start cold approaching. Because if you're an average looking guy, you are so much more able than you think. Because if you've got a high screen time on social media as well, it'll lead you to believe that you've got to look a certain way to even warrant opening the door. Like, the entry fee is being a 7 out of 10 to go on and speaking to a girl, which I just think is fucking bullshit. And I just know that these things that people think are the most important things aren't. Actually, the barrier to entry, the fee to play, is that. It's fear and embarrassment. Like, are you willing to be embarrassed? Are you willing to be rejected? That is your entry fee. And if you can get over that, and you can get over your own ego of being willing to be seen to fail and have tried, you're going to get in there. The other 20%, they'll probably try once and get black pill. Black pill's fucking massive now, and I just think it's victim mentality, honestly. So many guys vastly overestimate how much effort one cold approach takes, and they want to break it down like, she didn't like me, she didn't like my looks because she weren't interested, so I'm not going to try again because I'm cooked. They're not saying this, but this is the frame of mind that people have got. And actually, you're underestimating how many reps this takes, which sounds like morbid and like, oh, I can't be arsed anyway, but it's going to be that way anyway. Obviously it is. You're going to speak to girls that have got a fella. You're going to speak to girls that need a shit. You're going to speak to girls that are in a foul mood. They've had an argument with their mum. She's in a rush. Do you know what I mean? And you might come across the wrong way, which is what we're going to help you not do, but, like, there's so many things that mean that you can't have a 1-in-1. You can't have a 1-in-1 conversion rate. So you need to Stop underestimating how many reps it takes, but also realise that 3 or 4 reps is fucking piss easy. Like, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. If you're just going about your life and speaking to people on the normal path of your life, it's not a lot at all. The remaining 10% of fellas, 80% will do their approaches wrong. This is what I mean. Or they'll just be flat out unattractive people. If you're not at least average, like, yeah, I think you've got some work to do. This actually accounts for probably 5% of the guys like you that are in this bucket of consistently approaching. So you're looking at like, 80% of guys are approaching girls and blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. No, they're fucking not. Like, 5% of guys are. And like I say, it could be even less. This is why I say, like, if you just start at a 5 out of 10, you've just undercut what? So we've done 95% of people? What the fuck? What the fuck? And you know this is true because you speak to older people and you're like, oh, where did you meet your missus then? Oh, well, we worked together. Oh, well, mutual friends. Or we went to school together. The world just fucking pushes them together like this. So when you're the one person that sees life in like sandbox mode and you could just go out and speak to anyone, yeah, you're quite a minority there. But you'd be surprised at what your results would be. But yeah, 80% of guys that are doing it, they're doing it wrong. They're making it hard for themselves to do, and results are scarce because of that. Like, they'll do the wrong approaches that aren't fun to do. Like, it's not fucking fun to go up and approach a girl in the way that people think will work. And because of that, they'll get no results, they'll lose the clarity of task, and they'll not be able to keep it up. So what are you going to do differently? This is what cutting edge you're going to have as a bang average fella. Bang average fella, this is what you're going to do differently. You're going to drop the burden of performance. I was speaking to the fucking the wisdom of ChatGPT the other day about something completely unrelated to this. It were about my content pattern. And it was saying, like, drop the burden of performance and almost intentionally underperform. And I was like, shit, I'm definitely talking about that because this is such a good point. If you go into a cold approach with the burden of performance when you've got your heart racing and your hands are sweating and your fucking legs are stiff and you want it to go well, it's so much less likely to go well. Oh, excuse me, I just wanted to tell you that you fuck off. Like, no one wants to be spoken to like that. If you drop the burden of performance and you're so willing to get rejected, you're so willing to look a bit stupid, you know how much better you're going to do. Because a lot of the approaches that I preach by and I've had the best results from, it requires you to drop that because it's just fucking stupid. And any stupid, silly approach that your average person would think, oh, no way you'd be saying that, they're the ones that work. But to do that, you've got to drop your burden of performance because you might think that, you know, like my second point says, the fucking more formal business approach, oh, excuse me, what's your name? Oh, I just had to say hi, you're really attractive. People would think that works and then use that and have this burden of performance. Fuck that shit. Party out front, business in the back. This is where your actual openers come in because what you're saying is important. I used to say, you know, oh, you can say anything, blah, blah, blah. And I've since learned that that's kind of not true on reflection. Not in the cold approaches themselves. Like, you can get a girl's number by telling her she's attractive. But if you want to actually get options from this and results from this, you're going to find that a lot of those girls just air you afterwards because they know that you're interested. And then from there, it's like they've got no reason to speak to you still because they've got all the validation that they need. So party out front, business in the back. When I say party out front, this is what I mean by the silly openers. So I'll give you an example, bro. So one of my best openers were going up to a girl on a table and saying like, oh, what's your favourite Adam Sandler film? Or what's your favourite Vin Diesel film? Or Brad Pitt as well. I've done Brad Pitt. But these are just stupid fucking things. Just silly out front openers. And then later on in the conversation, we get into the business. You know, where are you from? How old are you? Right, what's the crack with this girl? That's when we start qualifying. Qualifying. Not fucking closing. Qualifying. Because we might not even want to close. Which leads me on to point number 3. Is your default setting, can I get this girl's number? Can I get her on a date? If that's your default setting, you're never going to do well. You're never going to do well because it just breeds neediness. You might speak to a girl and not like her at all. And I've done this a lot of the time. And ironically enough, when I've entered the interaction thinking this, like, let's qualify the girl. And I've had it like, oh, do you know what? I don't really like her. Let's go. She's like, oh, you're not going to get me on Instagram. I've literally, I swear to fuck, I've had this before. And you would pray for that prior to an approach. But is your default setting like, oh, let's see what she's about? Or is it, let's see if I can get a number? If it's the latter, you are disadvantaging. Is that even a word? Putting yourself at a disadvantage. Because for you to chase a result, like, the result can't chase you back. Like, the result has to be pedestalized for you to chase it, which it just breaks any dynamic that leads to us being the sort of guy that can approach women, have options, that sort of thing. I don't stand by it. I mean, any approach is better than no approach. I'll say that, but there's better ways to do it. And I think if you let go of burden of performance, you start leading with a little bit of playful party out front, business in the back style structure to your approach, and then you stop going into it thinking, yeah, do you know what, let me see if I can get a number. You are then undercutting nearly everyone. And this is what you'll learn when you do this. Most people are oddly receptive to a conversation. They fucking are. Like, you would think, like I said with the example I gave earlier, no one wants to talk about Adam Sandler or a Brad Pitt film. It's just someone they don't know, but they do. They fucking do. And that's the point where it's like, yeah, this is a massive pattern interrupt. This guy just asked me about my fucking favourite Adam Sandler film, but at least he's not coming up and telling me how attractive I am or that he likes my hair, because everyone else is fucking doing that. Most people are oddly receptive to a conversation, and I think that's only going to get better with time. People are, oh, cold approaching the Big 25. Oh, it's dead. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. Everyone's behind a screen. And like I said, if you didn't meet your soulmate in fucking school, like, you need to do stuff like this. So I think with the AI and the screens getting bigger and bigger and bigger, there's only going to be a bigger market for this. So if you can become the one person who can do well at it, you're going to do well. The way that people are going to look at you when you start approaching, you fucking want a penny when you can do this. Like, it's so, your mates are going to be, oh, he can just speak to anyone. Fucking this guy. Oh, and he spoke to that girl and said this. You know what that does for your self-image? Like, it just makes this, like, revolving door where, like, again and again, and you don't get worn out because you become the person. And you get so much more respect from guys, but also the girls that you're approaching, because they're not used to getting approached the right way. It's the best thing for your self-image, never know more. And just being able to open is going to take you a long way. I think, like I say, we can talk now about the details and how to do it, and people want to get hung up on that, when actually, if we're looking at the statistics, out of 100% of guys, maybe half of them are going to ask me how to do it, and there's another 45% of them that aren't fucking doing it at all. So, I mean, this is the most important thing. Just being able to open will take you a long way. I think regardless of how you really do a cold approach, if you can consistently open, you'll do all right. You'll do all right. And when I'm teaching these things, I'm teaching you how to be the top 10% of an already top 10%. If you're doing the right things, you're then that's like the 1%, right? Just under the 1%. So regardless of how you look, you're doing things the right way. 1 out of 100 people can do things your way. And you've got no idea how many people fell off. You've got no idea how many people did it once and fell off. And to be a 5 out of 10 and start doing this is so fucking easy. I made a video saying, like, if anyone is ugly, anyone is under a 5 out of 10, it's your fault. Like, you've just not put the work in. And people think that looks are all that matter, and you've got to be a 7, you've got to be an 8. And to that I say, how good do you want to make your product before you want to start introducing people to it? There are a lot of average products out there that so many people buy because it's just good marketing. Not a lot of people are doing this. Not a lot of people are putting this in out there. And when you learn to do that and you isolate from, you know, let's get a better jawline, let's get more money, I promise you, results are going to be so fucking good. Sweet. YouTube debut, spick and span, 1 take Tony, not too bad at all. Become a 5 out of 10 and start cold approaching. Thank me later for results you're going to fucking get. I'm going to put in my bio my link tree, so you're going to see my TikTok. This is where I'm going to do the most content. I usually do 2 or 3 short forms a day. I'm probably going to do, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 of these a week. I've got a lot of shit on my plate right now, and until the summer, it's a little bit complicated. So We'll start upping it then, but for now we'll do 1 or 2 a week. I'm going to start getting actual cold approach footage as well in the summer, so you're going to see how I do it. Hopefully you're going to learn a lot. But for now, I just want to get the foundations in place. I know I can help a lot of guys with what I already know, so yeah, hopefully you took some value from this video. If I showed myself the old version of this, I know I would. So I'm fairly confident that you'll get some value from it. Like I say, follow me on fucking TikTok. You probably already do. Follow me on fucking TikTok. Drop me a sub, please. This is my dream to do this shit. I think I'm probably the only person on this social media thing just talking primarily about the art of a cold approach. Everyone wants to talk about dating, and no one's actually highlighting the issue that most guys have, which is they're just scared of cold approaching girls, which is where I want to kind of slot my niche into. So yeah, drop me a follow. Thanks for your time, boys.